good. How are you all doing? I wanted to talk to you tonight about long distance relationships. Now, I am coming to you with this subject because of a recent conversation that I had with a young lady who is part of my extended family. Now, some of you who probably watch or follow me right now know that I was in a long distance relationship. And if you didn't know, well, now you're gonna know. I was in a long distance relationship for about 6 to 7 years. It was with my very first ever love that rekindled after attending his mother's funeral several years ago. God rest her soul. She was loved by many. She was a wonderful mother and a fierce Christian, if there ever was a thing of being a fierce Christian. She was that. Well, we basically reintroduced ourselves and sort of started, dating. I had like, when we reintroduced ourselves, I had like basically 2 days before I returned back to the United States. Um, we didn't waste any time. I can tell you that much. The phone calls began right after I came back. So we went straight into like, it felt like almost like picking up where we left off years ago. I think the love that we had was still there for both of us, although there was definitely a readjusting stage. We had gone through at least maybe 6 months of getting to know each other all over again, pretty much. I felt or I know that he was holding on to our younger years or younger days that we had, when we were together. And I think he was treating it as if, we were still young and just doing silly, crazy things, just acting, kind of crazy. The numerous conversations that we had, there were plenty. The late night talks until in the wee hours, like a young love, pretty much. The talking dirty to each other. We talked about our day to day routine, the incidents that may have taken place that day, whether it was work or, we were out, with friends or whatever. We shared all of that and it was so welcoming. I must admit though that at first it felt like it started off by me feeling like I was falling for him more than he was doing me. But trust me though, the feelings got turned up pretty fast for him afterwards. So I wasn't too worried about it. I know he was into me, but I think he was sort of holding back a little bit. Um, I felt like he probably just wanted to make sure that it was a real thing, that I wasn't trying to play him, use him, whatever the case was at that point. He just wanted to make sure that this was, what it was. Um, it was great. I'm not gonna lie. The long distance thing, it was great, and I felt it worked because we weren't like living together, or we weren't in each other's spaces on a constant basis. But honestly, it was getting to me. I won't lie about that. It definitely was getting to me because I was the one that was doing most of the traveling. It was hectic. I found myself visiting with him at least three, if not 4 times out of the year. while I was trying to do my other trips as well, like going, doing my Europe trips, my Europe travel, wherever I wanted to go, that was not Jamaica. It did get a little frustrating. Um, and I found that we started arguing a lot. Um, I think I was fussing more, especially when things didn't go my way or when I asked to probably get something done and it wasn't done. I think I picked at him just to get his reaction and for him to probably get frustrated with me so that he would probably would say, you know what, we're done, we're done, we're done, we're done. But those words never came out of his mouth. His love was so unconditional. Um, I think I even loved him more for it. But it was obvious that he was there for the long haul. He wasn't going anywhere, and I think if he had it his way, I don't think I would have left. I would have, I would have been out of his life. Um, I um, I also was there for the long haul. I'm not gonna lie. I was in it for the long haul. Seriously, I was seriously thinking of actually packing up my stuff and just moving back home. Friends and acquaintances, used to say to me like things like, you're just having fun, right? This won't last, right? This is just a fling. You're just like, it's almost as if it was like an infatuation type of thing. Um, but basically, they were saying that it wasn't going to work. Sometimes I did think that. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it was hard. It was hard having that distance between you, and then let alone having to work on it. Work on things while things are happening over the phone with you. Work on it during all of that distancing. Um, things really started to get to me. I'm not gonna lie, especially not being able to plan for the sort of future that I would have loved for us to have. And I was kind of ready to check out. I would have rather to check out than to cheat on him, and that's not something that I take very lightly. Even I don't even think of that. I give you 150% of me whenever I'm in, especially when I'm in a relationship with somebody who I'm really into, who I'm really in love with. So for me to have given this 6 to 7 years, that was a lot. And that was a lot of going back and forth. There was a lot of airline miles. That was a lot of money. Um, like I said before, I think it definitely worked because it was long distance, and we weren't in each other's faces every day. And the love that we had for each other, that's what made it work. It wasn't a very good breakup, but right now we are the best of friends. I don't think that we will never not speak to each other again. We still love each other, definitely. There's always going to be a place in our hearts for each other. Um, will we get back together again? Mm, the jury's still out on that one, so um, we'll get back to that, I'm sure, at some other point. I'm saying all of that to say I had a conversation recently with an extended family member, like I said, who is in a long distance relationship. They're young, they're in their 20s, and a Christian. Definitely God fearing people. Um, and I think I forgot what happens in a relationship. So I had to ask her, what do you guys talk about? Because in my head, I'm thinking, okay, for me, or for us heathens or sinners, um, we're actually thinking sex. We're thinking, okay, when are we going to see each other to hump each other, to, go crazy for each other? And then she told me, she said, Auntie, we talk about different things. We definitely, they talk about God, they talk about the Bible. They will, they'll definitely motivate each other. Uh, I don't know if she said they pray together, but I think that may have been one of the things she said to me, that they do pray together. They talk about who will visit, when they'll visit, how long they'll visit. Um, they talk about living together, basically sharing a life together. So they intend to get married. That's what I gather from the conversation that I had with her. Um, I know they talk about like having kids, having children. So they're planning a life basically. And it sounds like they're on the same page, they're on the right track. So that's simply great. No, I really did not think of what their conversation would be like because, like I said, for us sinners and heathens, we're actually thinking sex and we're going to teach other to, get into the love making stuff, to kiss you, to, hold you, that type of thing. All the other stuff will come after, but I think initially for us, that's what our heads, that's what our minds go for. Um, to be honest, I'm not sure if I'd get back into a long distance relationship, although I have grown and matured since my last one. So it's possible that I could go back into one and I'd be better. I would know how to, handle it better, basically. Um, what I crave more than anything right now is companionship. or I would like for, or to find a great companion. Um, like I said in one of my videos before, that I thought my last relationship was the one. I was really crazy about him, not realizing that he did not feel the same. Um, that was my fault because I'm sure there were red flags and I never paid attention. But I digress and I'm moving on from that. So, if you're thinking of getting into a long distance relationship, whether you're young, you're old, you're middle age, whatever, or wherever you might be in whatever stage you might be in your life, I want you to consider a couple of things, which I realized I think after my breakup with my long distance lover, what should have been in place. It was sort of in place, but it wasn't on the level that it should be. So one of my suggestion would be to communicate, communicate, communicate. That was something that I did because I expressed myself. I'm vocal. So I am going to talk and tell you what bothers me, what doesn't bother me, what I would like, what I don't like, stuff like that. I basically kind of lay it out on the table. So communication is key, definitely is key. You want to also make sure that the both of you want the same or similar things, that you're on the same page. So if I am a person that want to basically get a house, buy a house, build a house, whatever I'm going to do, build a home, and you're pretty much kind of like not there yet, you're kind of seesawing, you're up and down, you're not quite sure exactly what you want, then that also should be a red flag for you. I would say tread very lightly, go very slowly. Again, be vocal, express exactly what you want, what you would like. Ask the hard questions. What would you want out of life, or where do you see yourself in 5 years, 6 years, 10 years, whatever the case may be? Ask those questions. I think it would actually help in you not getting into something that you really want, but realize that maybe it probably won't work because you and the person are not on that level. Make sure that you love each other enough to sustain any hardship. And know that you could be both you you could both be in love with each other, crazy about each other. But when the hardships come sometimes, people tend to run no matter how much they care or love you. They tend to run away from it because they really don't know how to quite deal with that. So just make sure that you guys talk about the hard stuff, the tough times. Although you probably won't know if you can handle it until it hits you, but at least you will have an idea of how they will probably react to certain things or treat certain things. You should express really what you're about. Basically, like I said before, what you like, what you don't like. Just make sure that you make it clear. Definitely clear from the get go. So nobody can tell you, oh, but you never told me that, or you never said that, or you never. No. Make sure you do it from the get go. Make sure also that you are both committed and ready for a relationship, especially a long distance relationship. If you're not ready, if you're not committed, it ain't gonna work because it's gonna be a one sided thing. Um, you won't feel like you're carrying all the weight. That's pretty much what it is. You don't want that because that will wear you down in a heartbeat. You really, really don't want that. I found that out too the hard way with my last relationship. Um, oh, the stories I could tell. But we'll leave that for another episode. um, Coming together shouldn't be a one sided affair. You both should bring something profitable to the table. Um, you don't have to be filthy rich. You don't have to, um, you know, be in luxury or, wealth. Wealth, yes, you don't have to be wealthy in that respect, like financially, but yeah, you need to bring something to the table. And I'm not just talking about just your love. You need to bring other things as well. You need to be able to provide emotional support, um, some financial support, some physical support. So you need to kind of be in tune with what's happening in your partner's life or in your partner's, well-being, emotional being. You need to be present. So you need to bring something. A friend of mine once told me, and I actually told him the same thing. Well, told my ex, previous ex, not the last one, the previous one. Love alone won't pay the bills, and he always say, "You always tell me that, you always." But it's true. Love alone will not pay the bills, but I know it can be enough to carry you through. It's like I said before. It's hard when one person is carrying the load and not getting help from the other party. It is frustrating. It's hard. I have had to do that. And no lie, you'll put on the best face. Sometimes, not all the time, you put on the best face. You put your best foot forward. But trust and believe that shit is killing you. It's breaking your back. Even though you may be able to support the both of you, it's still hard. And it would be great if the other person shows appreciation, shows something, acknowledge it, appreciate it, just do something for you. You know what I mean? But I'm not here to get into that part of it. I just want you to know that if you are committed, I'm going to add in love, and you are sure that a long distance relationship is what you want to try or want to get into, then go for it. But don't forget, like I said, communication is the key. So while I know my young family member is out there doing her thing, I commend her. I pray that it works out for her, and I wish her all the best. I hope that I'll get invited to the wedding. I know that my relationship, it would have worked. A part of the issue was monetary. That was a big part of it. I'm not gonna lie, it was a big part of it. Not only that, the physical aspect, like I said, I had to do the traveling all the time. They could travel, but they could not come to the States. So if I were to meet with them, we would have to go to a different island or a different country, which would take them forever to get there because traveling from Jamaica is not easy. You'd have to maybe, who knows, connect to like two different flights to get to where you're going. So you literally probably lose an entire day or day and a half. Um, so that was a big part of it, and it was a little frustrating. So in order for me not to cheat on him, I would have rather just to cut it off. And that's what I did. Like I said, it wasn't an easy thing. Um, he wasn't very happy about it, but it was something that I had to do for me. And I know that it would work because he's a great guy. He's an amazing, an awesome guy. His heart is in the right place. Um, he got you. Trust me. If you should go visit, definitely, he would be there for you. Um, but no, I was ready, but everything else, it kind of came at a cost, and that part of it, I was not ready to live down. I wasn't ready for that. So instead of me packing up my stuff and moving back home, I basically stayed right here. I just had to end it because I didn't want to keep on or keep at it, knowing that it wasn't going to go anywhere at that moment in time. So yes, they can work if you're committed, if you really wanted to, if you have that unconditional love, like no matter what, and if you have Jesus, I am sure it will work. So I just wanted to share that with you. It was on my mind, and I remembered my family member us having a conversation. I didn't want to indulge or not divulge. I didn't want to get too much into her business, her because she was being very not secretive. I don't think she was ready to talk about it, and it just happened. The conversation just kind of like just happened. So I'm glad she was able to share that with me, and she answered my questions without hesitation. So I'm glad. But yeah, um, that's all I got for you on long distance relationship. And this guy right here, my little buddy, he is buddy. Um, obviously he's with me tonight, just chilling, and I'm gonna go do my thing. So you guys enjoy, and I hope this was a little helpful. I'm sure, probably insightful, because some people may not have known all of this that I'm sharing with you about my long distance relationship. But yes, I did have a lover back in Jamaica several years ago. So yeah, it's been that kind of thing. See?